Okay, this is a follow-up to Ken Andrews' Just Say Yes, which appears on the Surf's Up soundtrack. There's so many good songs on that soundtrack. I thought I'd show you guys a couple more off that soundtrack, and I wouldn't record these if I didn't think they were needed out there. All the YouTube videos that I found are just a little bit off. I mean, they're okay. There's nothing wrong with them, but if you really want it to sound the way it sounds on the soundtrack, I'm going to show you how to do that. So this one is the New Radicals. You Get What You Give, which is kind of a fun song from the 90s. And I'm not going to play the entire song. I'm just going to show you the bulk of it, the bulk of the progressions, and then you can, you can fool around and kind of play through the whole song. So the first chord that you'll find on those YouTube videos is correct. I call it a partial A. It's basically the B chord, B string, 2nd fret, and G string, 2nd fret. Where you normally would have a full A, you'd have the D string in the 2nd fret as well, but you leave the D open. So technically, I think the name of the chord is like a, I don't know, D major 9 or something crazy. But in the very beginning, you really only want to play those two notes. The G string, 2nd fret, and the B string, 2nd fret. So just those two in the beginning, real subtle. And then everyone's going to tell you that you're going to move up to basically a partial G chord with your G, 4th fret, B string, 3rd fret. And that works, but if you really want to make it sound the way they do it, what you want to do is you want to get rid of that G string altogether, and you want to add the E string on the 5th fret and the B string on the 3rd fret. Just those two notes. So I'm going to play it both ways so you can see how it sounds. Everyone else is telling you to do it like this, which sounds good. Now I'm going to play it my way. Now that second chord, you include the open G, so it's 3 strings. Now eventually we're just going to play those same two positions, playing with the bottom 4 strings, starting on open D. That's the open D. Then the G string, 2nd fret, B string, 2nd fret, and open E. So listen how that sounds all together. And that's just the 3 strings, the open G, the B string, 3rd fret, and E string, 5th fret. Now there's a second guitar that plays behind this as well in the beginning. I'm going to show you that part now. Same strumming pattern, essentially the same chords, but kind of play in a different position. So what you want to do is you want to come way, way up high, and you want to get your ring finger on the B string, 14th fret. There's the 12th. You want to go up to the 14th, and then you want to put your index finger E string, 12th fret. So basically it's an octave E on the top string, the bottom string, top string. So that's the first chord in that position. It's just those two. You're only going to play these 2 strings. So listen carefully. That's the first part. Then you're going to slide up. This is a little weird. You're going to take your index finger and you're going to move that one up to the 15th fret. So it's a D note, and you're going to take your ring finger. I think it's hard to see in this video, but your D finger is going to go way, way up to the 12th, 13th, 14th, 17th fret. So listen how it sounds. So that's what they're doing behind just those 2 notes. Those 2 strings behind the original chords. So if you have 2 guitar players, you can do this. So that's the opening sequence. I'll play it again. kind of builds. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it just goes into this full chord with the open D and the open E. And then it's going to move from here to, I'm not exactly sure what this chord is called, but it's basically the bottom portion of the chord is your C note on the 5th string, 3rd fret, and your D string, 2nd fret, the beginning of a C, open G, just like a normal C, and then you're going to want to add the D note, which is your B string, 3rd fret. So when you put all those together, you kind of get this pretty suspended C kind of, because a normal C, you got that B down here, but you're bringing that up to a D, so we call that a suspended. Now, and listen how that sounds together. And you can let that E chord, you know, just ring the whole time. That's the first part where they start singing. I don't know the lyrics that well, sorry. And then when they change to an E minor, and then just an A suspended. So I'll play that through again. 4 a.m. You know we do it in style. Down to the E minor and A suspended A. And the A suspended is basically your pinky coming up to the D note on the B string, B 3rd fret, where normally it's on the 2nd fret, but you bring it up to the 3rd in the A position, open A open, D 2nd fret, G 2nd fret, and B 3rd fret, which is your suspended, and then bring that back down to resolve. Now here's where it gets really interesting. So what they do is they move. I'll have to play it for you, but essentially what they do that over and over twice, and then they do this note. They take off the pinky and let it ring on the B and the E, so it's like a partial A chord. So you got open A, you got D string 4th fret, open A, D string 2nd fret, like a normal A position, G string 2nd fret. And instead of the B string 2nd fret, you just open it up. You let the B ring and the E. It's a partial A chord, and it sounds like this. And this is the open up. This is what they do right before the chorus. And then when the chorus comes in, it's kind of cool. It moves to an F sharp minor, which is a bar chord. It's hard to see from the angle here, but basically you're just barring the 2nd fret with your index finger, and you come up with your ring and your pinky on the A string 4th fret, D string 4th fret, and the rest are just barred. So you're playing all 6 strings, and then from there you move to a B minor. So you're only playing the top 5 strings. B 2nd fret, D 4th fret, G 4th fret, B 3rd fret, and then the E string on the 2nd fret again. So both the A string and the E string are on the 2nd fret, and these other ones are right here. That's a B minor, and that resolves to an A. All good. Then they go to a G with the added D note on the B string. So instead of just a normal G where the B is open, you actually want to lay your pinky down, or both your ring finger and your pinky on the B string and the G string in the 3rd fret. So it sounds like this, as opposed to, and that's going to resolve to the A suspended, A. Back to the F minor. That's the G, A suspended. back to that G again for the actual chorus. I guess that was the pre-chorus. So it's don't give up. Back to the A suspended to A, F sharp minor again. So they kind of switch it around. In the pre-chorus, they start with F sharp minor, B minor, A, G with the added D note on the B string, suspended to A. They do that twice. Now subtle. So then they go back to the chorus to go to the G this time, and it's the same pattern, just in reverse. F sharp minor, B minor, end of the chorus, it's basically go to the G. You're gonna get what you give. C, normal C back to G. Super simple at the very end. That's the bulk of the song. I hope that's helpful. When they start riffing, they keep in that pattern of G, A suspended to A to F minor, F sharp minor, B minor to A to G, to A suspended A to F sharp minor. And then they eventually make it back to that open A position where it's just the partial A with the open B and open E ringing. And eventually, towards the end of the song, they just go back into the opening chords. And that's how basically they wind the song up, although they do, I think they kind of break back into that G, A suspended, and F a couple times, just for fun. That's it. All right. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it's clear. If you have any questions, just post them below and I'll do my best. Cheers.